Good afternoon. We are here on the Authors Comfort Radio Show once again. This is another Wednesday, 2 p.m. and Rachel Ogusowo is here to talk about writing, authoring, publishing, and everything in between. If you've been joining us, thanks for joining us today again. And if this is the first time you're going to be joining us, welcome on board. And trust me, it's going to be an interesting one. The next 30 minutes will be fantastic. Like I often say, writing, writers, authors, and publishers should be celebrated, should be recognized. So if you are listening and joining us this afternoon, just take a moment first, remember your favorite author, and go on Facebook or Instagram and search for their number and give them a follow. Every seasoned author deserves your love. They deserve our love because they are doing fantastically well, and I don't think people give them their flowers enough. But on the Authors Comfort Radio Show, and personally, I often remind people, I do it on my end, and I often remind people to give authors their flowers. Desiree Darius Erasmus says, if I have little money, I buy books. And if I have any other money left, I then buy food and shelter. Do you agree with this? Anyway, you might not agree, but personally, I remember as an undergraduate, when they send money from home, after removing my tithes, God first, and then the next thing is to go to a particular bookseller. She has a little bookstore beside the car park, the garage then. So every time I'm going home and I know I've gotten a lot, I'll just branch there and look through the book covers, turn the back of the books, read through the book about the book and about the author, and then out of maybe 10 or 15 or 20, I then decide to choose 2 or 3 based on my pocket then. And sincerely, the books I've read then, even if I don't have enough time as I used to have back then, what I've learned from those books are still helping me, because many times I ask, how or when did I get to know about this? And the truth is, somehow I've been saving in my knowledge bank. And it is fantastic that what we've read, what we've heard, what we've seen gets deposited in our brain. I know you agree with that. So if you are not used to reading, I would implore you that you resume reading and get back on track, develop your reading skills, develop your reading ability, get addicted to reading once again, and never say never. That knowledge, that big thing you are looking for and searching for might be seen in the pages of a book. So we are back reminding you that we're on the Authors Comfort Radio Show, Lee City FM 89.1, and I am Rachel Ogusowo. Back. This is the Authors Comfort Show. Rachel Ogusowo is your host and presenter. By the way, are you following me on Facebook? Just go to Facebook, Rachel Ogusowo, LinkedIn, Dr. Rachel Ogusowo, YouTube, Dr. Rachel Ogusowo, where else? Instagram, Dr. Rachel Ogusowo, and our company, Royal Ray International Publishing Company on Instagram, Royal_Ray_ International. So Royal Ray International. That being said, we've been having some solo program on the Authors Comfort Radio Show. Don't worry, very soon I'll bring another guest author on the show. But the reason why I'm doing this is because we have so many questions, we have so many things to consider that I would not be able to do when a guest is here. You know, the time is somehow limited, and when a guest comes to the studio, I have to maximize their presence in the studio. So today, I will be talking about the myths and error in writing, authoring, and publishing. Perhaps somehow I'll answer one of your many questions you've been sending. Okay, let's start with this. People often feel or say that writing is only for talented individuals. So have you said that too before? Have you assumed that before? Okay, from my experience and from interaction with several authors, legendary authors, upcoming authors, seasoned authors, I will tell you that writing is not only for talented persons. It's not only for skilled people. Even if you are not a writer, let me say January 2024, if you train to be a writer, of course you can become a guru in writing. But before you become a guru in writing, keep writing. If you wait until you're perfect before you start sharing your ideas and your wisdom with the world, that would be unfair. Like, that would just be sabotage. I would suggest that you start writing regardless of how you can write. You know, Facebook has this habit of bringing to your remembrance things you've written 1, 2, 3 years ago. When Facebook brings things from, like, let me say 10, 11 thereabouts, I remember then how I used to write with shorthand, and I'll be like, who does this? So you cannot say no, I don't know how to write. Mr. A or Mrs. B or Miss C or this and that write way better than me. I don't want to show my naivety and all that. No, as a writer, just start writing, but don't stay on that on that bad writing or bad vocabulary. You keep learning. And the truth is, as a writer, the more content you consume, the more your pen will flow. Is that a quotable? What did I say now? The more content you consume, the more your pen will flow. Please add Rachel Logusowo. I've dropped their code. So, but the truth is, the more content you consume, the more your thoughts will flow. It's just that you will not know when your memory will withdraw that word, that statement, that proverb, that saying. You just be surprised that while you're writing, things will keep flowing. Oftentimes, my children will ask me, "Mommy, who's telling you what you're writing?" And I will smile like, they will press down and say, "Okay, God." They say, did they teach you in school? I will reply them that it's not everything they taught me in school. They are not yet satisfied. I can read the curiosity on their face. But the truth is, when you consume more content, I mean, of course, not just comedy, not just vague things. When you consume more knowledgeable content, you'll be able to share more to the world via your writing. Now, like I've said, writing is a skill that can be developed. Personally, when I realized I have the gift of writing, of course, I kept developing myself. I've not even stopped developing myself. There are some times I just decide to pray for this, attend this, do this, not because necessarily I want to write an exam or something. It's just because I know I'm on this path of writing, authoring, publishing. So I want to add to my knowledge bank. In fact, that is why we have a segment which is Learn a New Word segment. You need to just keep adding to your knowledge bank. How to construct your words, how to bring this. Okay, let me put this statement first before this. Let me use this particular statement as a hook. Let me use this one as a connecting line. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So the more you write, I mean, you can't say you won't write because you're not skilled. Just start writing regardless. I will tell you that you can write, but don't remain in that level. Keep adding to yourself. Don't use THE, her, where you should use THE, her, he. You get what I mean? Don't use, there are so many words people mix up, and you'll be like, hey, the most common of it all is I, apostrophe M, they'll say ahem, and I'll be like, these two words are different, for crying out loud. So what I would say is that while you start writing as a novice, don't remain as a novice. Myth that double said is writing is a solitary activity. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. No. Writing is not a solitary activity. I used to be a lover of movie. Before I got married, I can watch all those, what they call them, K-drama. No, okay, I think I watched K-drama as a secondary school student, and I've broken up with them. Why? The suspense can be killing. Not be me. You no go kill me for my papa. I thought about it one day that enough is enough. This suspense is killing. Even when you are sleeping with your eyes closed, your brain is running. What will happen to Chinchon? What's the happen to Chinchon? And it's always so tragic. I said, no, I'm no more watching all this series film again until I am sure they've released the last part, and I can now start watching part 1 to the end. Then like it to be pretty good, but now I beg, I can't frustrate myself. Imagine watching part 1, episode 1, series 1, in January, and you cannot even watch the complete one till December. Oh no. So for K-dramas and all those other series film, I stopped anyway. But deliberately, anyway, when I get to watch movies, I don't have all the time anymore. But when I get to watch movies, well, many people will watch it because of the entertainment Trust me, I'm watching it for so many other reasons. The plot twist, the major character, the this, the that, the intonation, the pronunciation, and so you can imagine, from if I have that intention, not like I want to copy their story, no, far from that, but of course somehow you are developing yourself. Like they say, realize that your writing will just follow the silly things. I don't want to mention any niche now, but if you are writing knowledgeable deep, if you are watching knowledgeable deep movies and storylines, it will also influence the kind of thing you churn out. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So invariably, answering this particular myth, writing isn't a solitary activity. Writing involves collaboration, research, feedback from others. Like I tell people, when you are writing, you know what you are writing, but some people are coming to read it, so you must also carry them along. Like you have that in mind when you're writing, that this thing I'm writing, will my reader understand? Even if my reader, if this particular age, my audience in this particular age understand this thing, what if somebody below 18 takes this, would they understand? Do you understand? You have to also think about who, consider and carry your readers along. This thing I'm writing, what if I add this, what if I remove this, what if I make it 200 words, what if I make it 100 words, what if they get bored and they can't even complete it? So what's the end? So it won't be fair for you to write a long and lengthy thing and nobody waits to read everything. So you think about all these things while you are writing. That's the part of the research. Then you will also research based on what the topic you are writing about. So if people have written about, for example, if people have written so much about bride price and dowry, they've written and everywhere is saturated already, that doesn't mean you cannot write about bride price and dowry anymore. But you should add your own spice to it. You should add your, like, based on research and every personal experience, you should add your own touch to it, such that when people search for content on so, at least yours will also come up because it's searched for. Take notes, all these things I'm saying, writing, it also works for authoring. Take note of that. Then another myth here says self-publishing is inferior to traditional publishing. Inferior to traditional publishing, yet in some ways, but anyway, if you don't have access to traditional publishing or independent publishing, don't feel bad, don't feel guilty, don't shoot yourself in the leg. You just make sure that if you are self-publishing, you dot your I's, you cross the T's, let professional eye go through your manuscripts. Don't just be satisfied with doing it your own self. Somebody read us for herself at Royal Road International last week, and I just asked a simple harmless question that I was thinking this person should know, and the person was like, please, can you tell me more about this? Okay. Second thing I said, oh, I don't really know anything about this, and the launch is already close by, so I'm like, so this person will be an author and not know so many things. So invariably, if you do self-publishing or you do traditional publishing, endeavor that you learn more, you know more about what that authoring entails. While somebody can take you through the A to Z of authoring a book or publishing your book, you should also be curious enough to know what simple terms and terminologies mean. Do you understand? It won't be fair that you are just completely naive of everything in the authoring world. So self-publishing is not completely inferior. It depends on how faithful you are to learning more and how faithful you are to churning out seasoned books and premium content. My own is that, like I often say, do not publish gibberish. Just make sure that if either it's self-publishing or traditional publishing, you are churning out great book. Okay, let me consider one more before we leave this segment. This one says writing a book is a quick and easy process. Should we play a trumpet? Writing a book is a quick and easy process. No, it's not though. It's not. In short, it's not. Whoever says it is, kudos to them. But I will be frank and sincere with you as an author, like from the side of an author and from the side of a publisher. I will tell you right with my full chest that writing a book is not as quick and easy as anybody projects it to you. Now, if you want to write a book, maybe like you saw a book and you say, oh, I want to write a book like this, and maybe you want to copy some stuff and place whatever, it might be easy. Or maybe you just need money and you want to pack something together fast and sell off, it might be easy. It might be easy to you. Anyway, I'm being sarcastic. If you are silly, taking somebody's content might be easy to you. Or let me just say, maybe your belly is already filled with content and the body you want to pour out, and you're really dedicated to spending sleepless nights writing and writing. It's possible you might finish your book in 7 days, in 30 days, in 1 day. But even after writing, you've just started though. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? After writing, you've just started. You still have to go through, take your book through editing, and I would suggest you use more than one editor. If an editor sees some mistake and somehow skips some other mistake, the other editor or your proofreader can always see the other one. Do you understand? So even if you write your book through magic one and you finish it in a day, a week, or 30 days, what about the editing, the cover designs, the formatting, the typesetting, the inner page layers? So do you understand what I'm trying to say? Invariably, I'm saying it now that writing a book is not as quick and easy as some people make it look like. Some will say write a book in 5 days, write a book in 7 days. Do you know what happens to those people? Like, I ask them when they tell me something like that, I'll ask them, after reading your book a year or 2 years after, how do you feel? Do you feel like you missed out some stuff and you want to do a new edition? They say yes. In my mind, I would be like, but you won't tell people this part though. So somehow you might rush over a book, and then at the end of the day, you wish you added one part. I wish I added this. Oh, this book needs so. Or your buyers will even ask you that, please, I saw your book title. Will this book attend to so and so? In your mind, you'll be like, did I include it? Oh my, I did not include it. Do you understand? So I tell people from the consultation and coach point of view that when you write a book, leave it to rest. The resting to you might be 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Then come back to it. Trust me, fresh ideas will come in. I was writing a manuscript I was working on my manuscript before I came in here, and I started one of them last year, and 2 years ago I started one of them last year. I'm not saying anybody should be like me, but I'm just trying to say that the experience I've gathered between last year and now, I can just give myself thumbs up. Like, I'm adding more things to the book is getting richer, it's getting more value leading. Do you understand the angle I'm coming from? So if for your writing part, if you want to rush your book, it's fine. You are the author, but just make sure you give your book time to grow, like your ideas, so that you can add more content, more ideas, and all that. And then for the publishing aspect, submit your manuscript on time to your publisher. For us at Royal International, we say 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, that will give enough time to read through. Imagine as a publisher on our end reading through a book like 10 times. You can imagine how attention will be paid to details, rearranging, development, structuring, editing, proofreading, and all that. And if you have any manuscripts you're planning to publish, you can always reach out to us via Royal Republishing or via WhatsApp 09092920445. We are back to the Authors Confab show, and this is Rachel Ogusowo, and we are talking to you from Lead City FM 89.1. We've talked about the various myths in writing, authoring, and publishing. So quickly, before we make it a wrap today, let's talk about the common mistakes. Number one. Let me number one. Wuru or what should I call it? Cover design. Do you know that they say this thing that you don't address a book by its cover or something? That thing. If your book cover is not professional enough, or is not interpreting the book title or subtitle or content very well. That's not so cool. I know that you can design on Canva. Kudos to Canva Pro, and any other whatever. They're helping us to at least maximize our fund and all that. But I would suggest, since you are not giving the books for free or whatever, try and pay a professional to help you do a book design. And take notes, not all designers are book cover designers. Should I say that again? Not all designers are book cover designers. In fact, looking at some designs, I know I can cast 1 to 3 issues with them, because some things are placed upside down, some are placed right way up, some left way up, and all that. So give your books to professional designers. I remember, I think like 4, 5, 6 years ago, I did up to like 1 to 3, like 3 cover designs for my book before I finally settled to the best one. And I am thankful to God I did that back then, because you can imagine flaunting or carrying one kind of book and people be like, what's this? So you, it might be beautiful, but of course when it doesn't meet with some standards, some people will be like, no, this book cannot. And do you know that the type of cover design you have can also determine the price of your book? If you do one wuru to the answer design, you will not sell more than 2,000. Hope you know that people are now selling book as much as 10,000 per copy, 8,000 per copy, 6,000 per copy. So because the presentation of the book, the physical look and feel of the book, what's it like, is giving the premium Odogu vibes, and of course people would be interested in reading the content too. So number 1, common mistake in publishing. I've talked about cover design. Number 2, ISBN. I'm sure the National Library will give me flowers for this. It's so unfortunate that people publish without using ISBN. Some will even tell me, hey, after all, it's ebook now. It's ebook. It's this and that. Do you know that the right thing is that if you have a book in 3 versions, for example, audio format, ebook format, paper book format, you're supposed to even process 3 ISBNs, but let's even leave that one. Do you even have one? Did you even apply for one? So please, your book should have ISBN. The ISBN, International Standard Number, it's the number that connects you, the author, and your book title together. Do you understand? So don't make that mistake of publishing your book without ISBN. Number 3, don't make a mistake of publishing your book and say, let me give that my friend somewhere, or my sister somewhere, or let me edit myself, or let me edit it Grammarly and co. I agree that those are editing apps, but you are talking about real life appearance, so you have to use human editors and human proofreaders. Don't make any mistake of publishing your book without thorough editing. Beautiful and intentional and strategic book designs. And then what else have I talked about? Forget, next week Wednesday by 2 p.m. we'll be here again, Lee City FM 89.1, to bring you wonderful information concerning authoring, writing and publishing. I remain Rachel Ogusowo. Bye for now.